number 10 overall this past NHL draft, was just returned a few days prior to that game against the Otters, and it was his third game in the OHL, still looking for his first goal, and he would find it to put the Steelheads ahead for good.
Golod shoved down by Moverari, and Tippett takes over. Owen Tippett flying ahead, still looking for his first in this season. Ducks around two, carries to the circle, wrist shot, he scored. That's Owen Tippett to a T. 5-4 Mississauga.
That'd be your final. Yeah, I know, I jinxed it. As you could see him flying down the ice with the puck, and it's, he was due at some point. That's what this guy does. Probably the best pure goal scorer in the Ontario Hockey League with the departure of Alex DeBrincat. And boy, he can let it fly. Absolute sniped it from the right circle over on an Oberoi, and the Otters fell 5-4. But as I said, the coaching staff, and I talked with Chris Hartsburg before the game, when the Otters made a visit to Flint this past Saturday, they liked where their game was at, and they just wanted to continue that into the next game, which was Flint. And I know we had some audio issues, but looking at that game, the Otters finally snapped that losing streak. 9 straight losses on the road, and they're going to snap it against the Firebirds. Ivan Ladnia once again for the second straight game, opening up the scoring in the first period. Erie leads 1-0, 8:31. Ladnia with his 13th of the season. That leads the team in scoring. Flint Firebirds would answer in the second, as we would have 3 goals in the second period, all from defensemen. Former Londonite Nicholas Mattinen would make it a 1-1 hockey game at 12:25 of the second period. And the Otters would answer back with defensive scoring of their own. 2 goals in a minute and 2 seconds. First, Owen Hedrick at 14:29, an absolute bomb from the blue line, just trying to keep the puck in and just blows it past the glove hand of Luke Cavalin. 2-1 Erie. Then Jordan Sambrook, he gets into the mix at 15:31, and that's his 5th of the season. Set up by Carson Edwardson, the old pass off the pads. Huge rebound that comes to the wide open man, Jordan Sambrook, on the right circle, and he snipes it home. Put the Otters ahead by 2. Head to the third period at 5:08. Little insurance as on the power play. It's Max Golod, and what a story he's become here. Rookie, a 13th round pick, his 4th of the season, now receiving some looks from NHL scouts as Max Golod leads the Otters rookies in scoring, 13 points on the year. And the NHL Central Scouting Service, with their November rankings, remember you won't get to the midterm rankings and where they start actually numbering everybody till into the new year, but the November ratings, they give Max Golod a C rating for their final before the midterm rankings, which is good for projected 4th to 7th round NHL picks. So Max Golod starting to turn some heads and gain some more eyes on his game with the Erie Otters here as a rookie this season. And Erie, again, they're finding some late-round gems. A 13th round pick, Max Golod in 2016 from the Mississauga Senators. And, 82 points last year. He's an offensive guy he can certainly set up. He had 57 assists last season with the Markham Majors. And here for the Otters, he's starting to find his way in the Ontario Hockey League. With the back to Saturday night, the Otters, and they just would roll from there, even though Ty Delanger would add one on the power play late. For the Firebirds, Taylor Radish with the empty netter, and the Otters take the game. They snap that road streak. They get their second win of the season on the road at Flint. 5-2 the final. Then, final game of the road trip, it's a stop against the Saginaw Spirit. They beat the Otters just 8 days before that, 5-2 here at the Erie Insurance Arena. But in Saginaw, they would continue that roll over the Erie Otters. And it started early in the first at 5:03. Cole Koski opened the scoring.
He pokes it around. Owen Hedrick, and Koski goes the other way. Cuts across the ice, fires and scores. And Koski opens up the scoring on the rush from the right wing circle. Beats Timpano blocker side, and it's 1-0.
And here, the Otters, it took them a little while to really get moving. And you know what? Talking about continuing their game from the end of the game against Mississauga. They had a great outing against Flint. Well, it didn't continue, didn't transition into Sunday against the Saginaw Spirit. You would have liked to see it a little bit more, but the Otters, they would bounce back in that first period. And one of the stranger goals, you're going to hear it during the call because I had Tim Wilson, the Erie Otters Michigan scout, on with me doing some color commentary for us when we make our way out west and into the Michigan teams, and whether we see Sarnia or maybe in Windsor he sometimes stops by as well. But you can see this puck deflect weird right before this play starts. As Saginaw clears their zone, it appears to go into the bench and off their backup goaltender, Cameron Lamore, and then come back on the playing surface. So they let that go. You kept playing. You had a scoring opportunity for the Saginaw Spirit. Then the Otters came back the other way, and they would cash in Patrick Fellows' third in his third game.
Here's the Otters going to the back end. They score. Now we're going to come back to this. Patrick Fellows puts it home. I don't know if you don't have challenges in this league. It should have been a whistle away, but the Otters are able to take advantage of it, and Patrick Fellows ties this game up at 1.
Yeah, on the plate, entering the zone was Owen Hedrick. He slid it to his left to Alex Gritz, and Gritz tried to get a shot away, deflected off his skate, and came right to Patrick Fellows. Johnny on the spot, and he backhanded through Evan Cormier. Ties the game up at 1, and that would continue Owen Hedrick's assist streak into his 7th game heading into this week's action. Now, so you're tied at 1. You head to the second period, but this is where Saginaw just took over. They would outshoot Erie 30-22 just through 2 periods. 40-34 overall in the game. I'll tell you what, Evan Cormier, their overage goaltender for the Saginaw Spirit, he was outstanding on the night. But the Otters really didn't see a sense of urgency until late. And with that, Saginaw took advantage, starting with the Mason Kahn power play goal in the second at 3:27.
Half a minute left on the power play. Koski out to center ice on the right wing side. Cuts across, leaves the left winger, Kahn, right back to Koski. Otters bottle him up, though. It's loose in front, and backhanded in by Mason Kahn.
They would add more and little insurance late, as this line, it was Blade Jenkins and company who had the Otters hemmed in multiple times in their defensive zone, and they got really simple game plan. They got the puck out to the blue liners, create some traffic and get shots to the net, and it cashed in as Blade Jenkins would tip this one home to make it 3-1.
Giroux from the far side corner. Drops it off for Buzdecker. They're buzzing here again. Saginaw. It's Buzdecker from the circle. Looks for Hill. Near side. Wrist shot. Deflected in. And it'll be Blade Jenkins on the tip in front of the net. Change the angle on Timpano as they had the Otters hemmed in, and it's 3-1 Saginaw.
That was all they needed. It was a team in Saginaw playing the third game in the third day. You did what you needed to do through the first 2. You go up by 2 goals, and then it was a lot of red line and down the rest of the way, keep away from the Otters, and they were unable to respond. Cormier good the rest of the game, like I said, and the Otters fall to the Saginaw Spirit for the second time this season. That's 3 straight at the Dow Event Center before heading back home for a pair of games here. And with that, Erie, the annual Thanksgiving Day game coming up tomorrow. Of course, tickets are still available, erieevents.com, or at the Erie Insurance Arena box office, and get those right up until game day. Keep the tradition going with the Ottawa 67s coming to town. But before we catch up on the 67s, we're going to chat with a couple of Otters, as we're going to be joined here shortly on the program as Otters Hour will continue. Chad Yemen and Emmett Sproul of the Erie Otters will be on with us next when we come back. You're listening to the Erie Otters Radio Network on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260.
Over the years, technology has greatly improved the productivity of the business office. From faxes and copiers to multifunction printers, now we just don't know how to get things done without them. And that means you need a reliable printer copier and a dependable service plan. That's why you should trust Cooper Business Machines. They are Erie's only authorized dealer for sharp document systems. And most importantly, they'll maintain your machine so that it continues to, well, work. Just like your car, it needs regular maintenance and parts need to be replaced regularly. If your copier isn't properly maintained or you're not getting toner in a timely fashion, then you've been reminded of what it's like to work in the dark ages. Don't wait any longer. Your business requires dependability. Shouldn't you expect the same? Cooper Business Machines, Erie's only authorized sharp dealer and service provider, helping you get back to business since 1980. Online at cooperbusinessmachines.com or call 456-7585.
This holiday season, my good friend gave to me 7 Powerball tickets, 6 match, 6 chances, 5 cash points, 4 cash for lives, 3 pick 3s, 2 Mega Millions.
Pennsylvania Lottery tickets make great gifts, like the new Merry Millions with top prizes of $1 million. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
And best wishes from the lottery.
The Titan truck. It's built in America, and it has America's best truck warranty. 100,000 miles, bumper to bumper. So if you want a powerful, full-size truck covered for the long haul, or just for the sheer fun of driving it, stop in to see the Nissan Titan. Now, $7,000 off its MSRP or 0% financing for 72 months. And in northwestern Pennsylvania, it's only at Interstate Nissan.
2 or more available at this price. VIN HN 537816 or with approved Tier 1 NMAC credit.
At Tim Hortons, we've got something new. Because we know change is exciting. Change is good. Change is delicious. Try our new hash brown sticks. Golden and crispy, they're perfect for dipping and sharing. Pair them with our new Western Omelet Breakfast Sandwich. Get both for just $3.49. Only at Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants for a limited time. Offer valid with biscuit, English muffin, and classic bagel breakfast sandwiches with protein, Western omelet, and cheese.
Hurry to Macy's Black Friday for incredible furniture and mattress super buys. Get a Certipedic Plush Queen mattress for just $136. Our Astra Sofa, $499. The Avondale Queen Bed, $399. Plus free white glove delivery and setup on any mattress purchase of $787 or more. Shop in store at Macy's.com or call 1-800-BUY-MACY. Savings off regular and sale prices, exclusions apply.
Why shop Arthur F. Schultz first for furniture, appliances, or a new mattress? This is Rob Schultz for Arthur F. Schultz, 26th and Cascade in the heart of Erie. We have America's best brands at the lowest possible prices, great financing offers, and absolutely free delivery. Very simply, nobody beats Arthur F. Schultz for price. Second, selection. We have 2 giant floors displaying more sofas, chairs, mattresses, appliances, and recliners than you'll find anywhere. So nobody beats Arthur F. Schultz for selection. Third, service. We own our building, and that saves thousands of dollars each month in rent. In turn, we pass the savings on to you in the form of free delivery. That could save you hundreds of dollars on your purchase. In addition, our knowledgeable home consultants can arrange free in-home design appointments to ensure the perfect living room, dining room, bedroom, or kitchen. Shop Arthur F. Schultz first, where quality and customer service are everything for over 100 years. And remember, there's only one Arthur F. Schultz, and it's located at 939 West 26th and Cascade in the heart of Erie.
Hume's Used Vehicles Superstore has once again been chosen as the #1 best choice to buy a used vehicle by you, the thousands of satisfied Erie and Northwest PA customers. The Hume's Used Vehicles Superstore has over 250 cars, trucks, minivans, and sport utilities, all on sale right now during our Race to 100 sales event, now till November 30th. Our goal is to sell 100 used vehicles by November 30th. Get special low interest rates from 2.9%, the highest trade-in values ever, and the lowest prices on our selection ever. Don't miss out on your chance to buy one of the finest pre-owned cars, trucks, minivans, or sport utilities at the lowest prices ever. Plus, with our immediate on-the-spot financing team here at Hume, we will be able to match a financing plan to fit any budget. So come see us at Hume's today before November 30th. We're only 9 miles south of the Milk Mall on Peach Street in Waterford.
You're listening to the Otters Hour on CBS Sports Radio, 96.3 and 1260.
Welcome back to Otters Hour. I'm your host, Aaron Cooney, and on this edition, we're hanging out with Chad Yetman and Emmett Sproul, a couple rookies here for the Erie Otters. And guys, thanks for stopping by here to join us on the show and for this edition. And I know it's your first year, but here in Erie. But I wanted to ask you, and I've done this to the last couple guys that have stopped on, but how do you get into hockey? And I know it's like you're born with it in Canada, but for you guys, what was the start, and how did you get going, and how did you know you wanted to play in the OHL and further?
Well, my older brother had always played when we were younger, so I guess I kind of got into hockey that way. And my dad played as a kid. His 2 brothers played as kids too, so it's kind of born into it, like you said. But I actually got into hockey pretty late. It was around probably 6 years old, a little later than most kids, but. Yeah, my dad just kind of put me into the whatever you want to call it, the
just age group league,
whatever you want to call it. It was called named after NHL players.
Okay.
At our age, I guess I think it was Adam Foote, and he just put me in that league, and ever since then I've excelled, I guess.
My whole family grew up around hockey. My dad always used to build an outdoor rink.
Oh, really?
So I got out on that a couple times. So. That kind of got me into hockey when I started young, like 2 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
prefer the outdoor rink or indoors? Did you see the Otter? If the OHL could do another outdoor game, put one over here, do you think that would work? Would you prefer playing outside or keep it indoors?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd prefer outside, but I think it'd be cool to
do it once. Yeah. I know I did a couple years ago. It was in, I think, Comerica Park. It was the night, London and Plymouth. Yeah. I know that people have been asking us here. It's right next door. You should do it. It's like it's actually not a bad idea if we can make it happen. Well, both drafted to Erie. Did you hear about Erie or know much about Erie beforehand? I remember talking to Darren Taylor also. When Darren was drafted, his parents thought they were talking about Fort Erie, not Erie, Pennsylvania. They had no idea that they was coming into the States. But for you guys,
I had that exact same.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did not know it was in U.S.
You same?
I only found out when McDavid was drafted.
Oh, okay.
Really, and he was obviously a superstar, so that's kind of how I.
So it's a pretty good spot to end up landing if Connor McDavid can end up sticking around here. Kind of like two different stories for you guys. Emmett, a first-round pick. Chad, you're picked in the 10th round. And I wanted to kind of get the story on both of that, and I'll start with you first, Chad. But for you to get drafted, I'm sure that's great. But do you feel that a 10th, later round pick, you have to work a lot harder, last year, and that to earn a contract or to earn a standard player agreement to join the OHL? Is it?
Yeah, obviously being picked in the 10th round, you're not really a favorite to obviously make the team, I guess. That's what a lot of people think. But I didn't think the draft was that big of a deal. I just thought once I've been drafted, now the work starts here, and obviously that's what happened, and I'm right here now. So it's all worked out, really.
What was draft day like? And I know we were just before we started this, I was talking to you about you get drafted, and it's the same day as a playoff series, the Otters and the Sioux Greyhounds, and your brother Bryce was playing with the Sioux Greyhounds. Was it an interesting day going into the game? Because I think it was Game 2 that night at the Erie Insurance Arena.
Yeah, it was. You know what? I didn't really have many expectations going into the draft. I wanted to get drafted, obviously, like everyone does, but I didn't really want to put any expectations on it just in case it didn't happen. I didn't really want to get too upset over it and too down. But yeah, it's kind of funny that I was drafted to Erie and my brother was playing in Erie that night. We could have planned a little trip beforehand if I knew, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
And a little different story for you, of obviously being the Otters' first-round pick this past year. You come right in and join the squad this year. Take me through a draft year. What's it like being a 15-year-old and entering that OHL draft year, and how do you prepare for all that?
Yeah, it's tough. Being a 16-year-old in this league is tough. I guess you don't play as much. You got to earn your ice a lot, and you just got to work for it.
Whenever you were playing with Grey Bruce, did you ever think Erie was on your radar, or what was going through your head when you go to the draft, or you sit down to watch the draft Saturday morning and you've already seen all the projections and things like that?
Yeah. I kind of had a feeling, but I wasn't too sure, so I was kind of surprised when Erie took me. So it was pretty cool.
Biggest adjustment to the OHL for you guys? What do you think is the hardest thing? It's on the ice or even off the ice. What's the hardest thing maybe becoming a full-time OHLer?
Well, I guess it's kind of a cliche, but the speed is obviously the biggest difference on the ice. And off the ice is just being away from home, adjusting to new family taking you in, and just kind of like the city, and just learning just like a new life on your own almost.
Yeah, pretty much the same.
Same stuff. We're hanging out with Chad Yetman and Emmett Sproul. This is Otters Hour. I'm your host, Aaron Cooney, and guys, I mean, Chad, you said it right before there, but adjusting to life away from home, I wouldn't know it. I didn't leave. Actually, I stayed home, been commuted to college and stuff, so I didn't even get to live on campus. But I'll start with you, Emmett. How hard is it to get up and leave as a 16-year-old, leave your family, then come to, well, you thought it was Fort Erie, but come into a different country and play hockey?
Yeah, it's really tough, but you get used to it. At the start, I had a little homesick, but you get used to it with all your teammates here. They're kind of like your brothers, so it's pretty cool.
Chad?
Yeah, obviously it's a little tough. That was kind of one of the biggest things for me in the decision of playing in the OHL, just thinking, do I really want to move away from home, from my family so early, and friends too. And I'm glad I did it. Obviously, I've adjusted. I've obviously, I don't know. It's obviously been pretty fun, and being around the guys, you're too busy to even think about missing home and stuff like that. So it was a good decision, I think.
It's a pretty set schedule too. I mean, between practice and then you guys are wrapping up school and then you go on road trips. So I'd imagine that there's ways that it kind of takes it off your mind.
Yeah, it's kind of like a day job, really, when you think about it. But yeah,
you guys, you live together, you build it together. What was your first? I guess when you learned you guys were going to live together, what was the first thing going through your head of, man, what is this experience going to be like in having new billet brother is what they kind of call them, but jumping into that experience at a training camp, you go from the hotel to now living full time.
Yeah, it was obviously a little weird. We didn't really
we didn't know each other that much.
Yeah.
Kind of just met right there, and I don't know. I guess we kind of, I wouldn't say, we clicked right away, I guess, and we didn't really think it was going to be tough. It was good, actually. Yeah. It's been a good transition.
I mean, have your billets made things easier on you in the adjustment? What's the best thing that how they take care of you?
Yeah, they're extremely nice. They treat me like they're my actual mom and dad. Mm-hmm. They're pretty cool, We like to play cards and stuff with them, so it's pretty cool.
Who's the best card player in the house? Or what game do you guys play usually?
I don't know. We play a bunch of different games. We play 31. What was that game?
I forget.
Shanghai Rummy. That's what they taught us. Shanghai Rummy. Yeah, never heard of it before, but we caught on pretty quick, and it was pretty fun.
Now, what's one thing that you wish you still had with you in Erie? Make the move. Something from home that you wish you could still keep around.
That's a tough question. What do you think? I don't know.
There's some guy that's maybe like
maybe a blanket,
the pet or something like that.
Maybe my
miss
dog.
Your dog.
I do miss my dog a lot. Yeah, actually.
I don't have a pet.
No.
So I don't know.
We'll go with Yeti's dog. Yeah. Off the ice, what do you guys do? You talk about it's like a full-time job, but you still got to have some fun time away from the rink. And some card playing, obviously, with the billets. But how have you explored Erie and got out there? Any restaurants or the mall or anything like that? What are you taking in?
We go to the mall quite a bit. We go to a nice puppy store. All the guys, go along with the dogs there.
Yeah, we go to the pet store
play
at
with
the
them?
mall and go play with the dogs, yeah. Usually on off days we'll go to the mall. We'll end up there at some point, but we like Cheddar's. It's a good restaurant.
I've been there once or twice,
there. What else? Charlie's is nice.
Yeah, Charlie's. We sometimes go to the movies with the team.
Yeah, we'll do
movie
that.
Nights. What was the latest movie you guys went and saw?
Thank You for Your Service.
Okay. I forget. Okay, I did see that.
A couple of weeks ago.
Name a few restaurants. So what's your favorite restaurant here in Erie so far?
I like Olive Garden, but I do like Cheddar's too.
Yeah, definitely Cheddar's for me.
I know, Chad. I'm always letting the Jimmy John's guy into the back of the arena from time to time. Is it just delivery for lunch after practice, or
we get hungry in school there sometimes. So.
And that's the go-to choice.
Yeah, it is. They deliver
freaky fast delivery. Some other quick questions, guys, as we're winding things down here on Otters Hour. We're with Chad Gibbon and Emmett Sproul here this episode this week. Guys, what's your favorite movie?
Miracle on Ice.
Miracle?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Even though you're a Canadian guy?
Yeah.
It's okay.
It is a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Yeah, I like Baby Driver. It's a new movie.
That is.
Not a lot of people know about it, but it's a really good movie.
That one was. I went to see that in the summer. I know you guys are the first group of rookies that ever brought rentals or Red Box movies onto the bus. Like usually you end up watching Taken 4 times throughout the season.
Yeah.
And so kudos to you guys for bringing the entertainment from one of the better groups that we've had the last couple of years. What about on Netflix? Do you guys do Netflix? Do you binging anything?
Yeah, I'm watching Shameless right now.
Shameless? I think everybody's watching Shameless except me. That's what it seems.
I watch Friends, but I finished
Friends
it 2 times in a row.
I've watched.
That's a classic, though.
It is.
I've
watched Friends twice. How I Met Your Mother 3 times. I'm running out of options.
There's endless options on Netflix. You sit there for hours or days. Does that help it on the bus? You're able to watch Netflix on the bus at all or anything, or is it too much going on?
Actually, yeah. Now they brought out this new thing where you can download movies and stuff like that. And shows, so that helps out a lot. But there's not really any Wi-Fi, so that's a problem.
What about music? What are you guys listening to? Or Anything new, or what's your go-to? Whether if you had your choice listening to music in the room or anything before a game, what would you be listening to?
I like country.
Yeah, we like country. We usually play country a lot.
Some throwbacks we do.
Yeah, we do throwbacks. Usually songs I like to sing too. It gets me excited. It gets me going.
Who's the best locker room DJ? I don't know who's in charge of it, how it bounces back, but who do you think?
Timmermans or Oberoi.
Yeah.
Oberoi's pretty good
really?
too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have thought it was like controlled by the older guys and don't touch the radio and that's it.
I don't know.
It's been different since I think Travis Dermott was the guy. He was the guy.
Oh yeah.
He was the only one. Yeah. A couple of years ago. If you had one song that you could play the rest of your life in the locker room, what would it be? All the time. This is the only song. It's always on repeat, and that's it. To get you amped up, ready to go for a game or practice or whatever it may be.
I'd say "Colder Weather" by Zach Brown Band. It's a good song.
I'll just say I like the sound of that. I don't even know who it's by.
Rascal
I just love this song.
Rascal Flatts sings that one.
We're hanging out. We're here with Chad Yetman and Emmett Sproul. Guys, I know it being your first year, and from time to time some pranks that are played on the rookies. Who's the biggest prankster on the team? Hopefully, I don't think anybody will find out. Hopefully, they don't fine you or anything. But if not, what's the best prank that's been played so far this year?
They got me pretty good. They got both my sticks and put water down them, so it was all heavy and stuff.
Oh, really? They tape it like taping the right down in the top.
Yeah, they took the knob and put water.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there's water.
He couldn't figure it out. Everyone would lift a stick and say, "Man, like, what are you talking about? It's the same." And he thought he believed it. He believed that it wasn't heavy, but then he figured out the water was coming out. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's really good. I would never have thought of that. That's funny. Chad Yetman, Emmett Sproul, guys, thanks for stopping on with us, and thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
We'll have more Otters Hour after this. We'll get a view from the other side and catch up with Kenny Walls when we come back. You're listening to the Erie Otters Radio Network on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260.
Talking to Superstore Joe from Off-Road Express. Joe, let's talk about Black Friday and Saturday.
It's our biggest two-day sales event of the year.
No doubt.
I'm talking 10 manufacturers, $10 million in inventory, 2 locations, all on sale.
That's what I like to hear.
Get a new Can-Am Outlander 450 automatic 4x4 or a Honda Rancher 4x4. Your choice, only $49.99.
Oh, man.
Listen, I'm including a winch and a plow with every Honda Foreman and Polaris Sportsman for these 2 days.
Nice.
New Can-Am side-by-sides up to $4,000 off. New Ski-Doos up to $3,000 off. Used snowmobiles and ATVs as low as $9.99. Brand casuals and gear up to 70% off. Plows half off. Helmets up to 70% off as low as $69.
I can't wait.
It's the two-site sale at Auto and Off-Road Express, just 2 miles south of I-90 on Peachtree, or just 5 miles south of I-90 on Route 8 in Erie.
Planning a holiday celebration, a family gathering, or office party? Make it special. Call Valerio's Catering. Hi, this is Justine from Valerio's. We offer full service, delivery, or pickup. We have an extensive catering menu including full dinners with prime rib, chicken marsala, seafood, and pasta prepared fresh. Valerio's can also accommodate special requests. Make your celebration special and impress your guests. Call Valerio's Catering.
Valerio's, fresh from Italy to you.
In February 2016, Emily gave birth prematurely to twin boys at Allegheny Health Network.
It's overwhelming to think about everything that we survived. We often, in my house, refer to like the NICU staff as like the SWAT team. Like they're there to do a job and they do it really well. My delivery, I love. I loved everything about it. For someone having 2 babies at 32 weeks, 5 days, I loved it. I mean, we had bad days. We had really bad days. But I trusted the nurses, the doctors. I trusted them. In the beginning, everything is scary. And then now, at 1.5 years, we just do things that normal families do.
5 weeks later, Emily brought home her 2 healthy boys. Caring for all of her life, is living proof. St. Vincent Hospital of Allegheny Health Network. To learn more or schedule an appointment with a women's health expert, visit ahn.org/allofherlife.
This holiday season, my good friend gave to me 7 Powerball tickets, 6 match 6 chances, 5 cash points, 4 cash for life's 3 pick 3s to Mega Millions.
Pennsylvania Lottery tickets make great gifts, like the new Merry Millions with top prizes of $1 million. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
And best wishes from the lottery.
As more and more companies offer their employees a choice of health plans, more and more people are deciding UPMC Health Plan is the best choice. With affordable in-network access to UPMC and other doctors and hospitals in your community, plus award-winning customer service, it's no wonder UPMC Health Plan is the fastest-growing health plan in the region. So when your employer gives you a choice this year, make the choice more and more people are making. Choose the best. Choose UPMC Health Plan.
An Erie landmark since 1953, Nunzi's Place serves generous portions of great food at reasonable prices. Family owned for almost 60 years, Nunzi's prepares the finest Italian cuisine in Erie. Come see why the Erie Times News said Nunzi's is known for food that tastes good. Nunzi's Place, located at 2330 East 38th Street near the Bayfront Connector. To call for reservations or place an order for takeout, call 825-2940. Nunzi's, known for Italian food that tastes good since 1953.
The Sheraton and Courtyard Erie Bayfront Hotels are proud sponsors of the Erie Otters. Join them for their pregame and postgame celebration at the award-winning Bayfront Grill or the brand-new Shoreline Grill, located just minutes away from all the action. Let them help you fuel up for the high-energy game with their extensive menus and craft brew selections. You ought to be dining with the best. The Sheraton Erie Bayfront Grill and Courtyard by Marriott.
Hi, this is Ed Rendell. I've got to admit that I was sort of a dinosaur when it came to using social media. But my son found Epic Web Studios, and we began working with them. And they've done an incredible job with us. They've significantly increased our followers on Twitter and Facebook. They make sure that we put up the right things. They capture every good thing that I've said or done on TV and get it out real quickly. And it's been just a revelation to me, and they've been tremendous to work with.
Don't be a dinosaur. Call or text Epic Web Studios at 814-746-6987.
You're listening to the Otters Hour on CBS Sports Radio, 96.3 and 1260.
Welcome back to Otters Hour. I'm your host, Aaron Cooney. Now it's the time of the show where we get a view from the other side. And tonight, we're chatting with Kenny Walls, the play-by-play voice of the Ottawa 67s, one of the play-by-play voices here with the 67s. And pleased to have you join us here, Kenny, and thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, my pleasure, Aaron. Looking forward to it.
Well, we got the matchup coming up on Thursday, the annual Thanksgiving Day game here for us in the States and for the Erie Otters. But before I look at that, I wanted to ask you a few things and just look at the 67s because I know it's coming into a big historic season. We had the home opener. We were the opponent there making the stop for the 50th home opener as the 67s celebrate this 50th season. But what can you tell us here in Erie, just what has made Ottawa such a special junior hockey town that we just may not have the knowledge of?
Well, I think that most junior hockey fans know the name Brian Kilray, and I think that's what's made the Ottawa 67 so special. The Memorial Cups, the OHL championships, that all adds into it, obviously. But when you have one coach and general manager for as long as Brian Kilray was around, it makes that type of image. And when you're successful year after year after year with very few down years, it makes for a legendary status, and Brian Kilray has that, and I think that he brought that to the 67s as well. And the two go hand in hand. Brian Kilray and the 67s go hand in hand throughout their history, 34 years or something like that. As a member of the Ottawa 67s, he's still kicking around with the team as a special advisor and see him at games every so often. But for me, when anybody thinks of the Ottawa 67s, that's the first name historically that comes up. They've had other great players, Bobby Smith, guys that are in the NHL right now, Tyler Toffoli, Sean Monahan, Peter Mrazek, just to name a few. That's all secondary next to Brian Kilray.
And for you, I know you mentioned some of those things. What's it like for you to be a part of the organization and calling games with them and them this now 50th year celebration?
It's been exciting getting to meet some of the guys who were around before I was, for sure, is neat. Being able to meet Bobby Smith, who was back in town for a special ceremony, that was quite something. To meet Brian Campbell when he came back to have his number 44 retired was quite something as well. You get to meet all those guys who were there. I've been around the team for about 10 years or so I was able to see the Logan Coutures come in, Jamie McGinn. Ty McGinn was here for a year and a bit, so got to meet some of those guys and be around those guys. And then later on, Cody Cece, Sean Monaghan's, Tyler Toffoli, Shane Prince. It's a unique connection that you're able to develop with these kids, and even now more so for me being able to travel with the team where I wasn't before. Getting to know a kid like Travis Barron for the last 4 years has been something special. He may not have had quite the career that maybe a lot of people were expecting from a third overall pick, but he's a very good Ottawa 67, a great leader, captain for 2 years now. And those are the kids, and that's the relationship that you build up with these kids. And I have a ton of fun being around them, and it's incredibly special to be a part of that 50-year celebration.
And, I can agree, just having that, people don't realize how much time you spend around the team and everything, even as just a broadcaster. But those are some long road trips that you get to be a part of and learn from some of these guys. But speaking of, Travis Barron and these 67s, looking at them here this year, and first stop looking last season, a playoff team. How much do you think the group built off of last year? Getting in the playoff 7 seed, and then although bowing out to the eventual Eastern Conference champion Mississauga Steelheads, there's got to be something they took from it and building to what's a pretty good start this season.
For sure. I think that the returning players know that they're for real. They gave Mississauga their toughest challenge on the eastern side on their way to the OHL finals against Erie. And I think that they brought a lot from that. Travis Barron, I'm sure, took a lot out of that as well as the leader going into that series. And the returning players have taken a lot, but it's also a fresh start this year. New coach, new general manager, kind of hit a reset button mid-rebuild, and they were heading into a portion where they're supposed to be very good. This is a year where Travis Konechny would have graduated had he stuck around, and it would have been Travis Barron team, which it is now. But they had to kind of press the reset button on that and going forward. So I think that the guys who are returning carry that weight of 2 straight playoff exits with them, or 3 straight playoff exits with them, and they are building on that. But the new coaching staff has come in and not let them rest on their laurels either. It's a brand new start for a lot of these players, and I really like the way that the coaching staff has addressed things and kind of, like I said, hit that reset button.
How has the team changed from going from Jeff Brown into this new management side? You look at James Boyd coming in from Mississauga and Andre Tourigny coming from Halifax, but have things changed a whole lot from previous years to this season?
From a management point of view, not a ton. James Boyd hasn't done a lot as of yet. I think he's still getting a grasp on the team, and he and Andre Tourigny are looking at what they have. There's no rash decisions coming out. They made a trade during the offseason, sending Hunter Carrick to Windsor for conditional draft picks. They sent Leo Lazarev to Barrie, and he's done very well there. They brought in Olivier Tremblay as an overage goaltender to come in and help trying to solidify things, but there hasn't been too much movement. So from a managerial point of view, it's been fairly quiet. From a coaching point of view, I think it's night and day from what Jeff Brown was doing. And I have a lot of respect for Jeff Brown, got along with him very well, but I think that the change has been good. They're more video-oriented as this new coaching staff. They like to focus on the positives and point that out to the players before games, before road trips, during video sessions. And they're utilizing the tools that are at their disposal nowadays with the video. Both Mario Duhamel as well as Andre Tourigny. Mario Duhamel was the video coach with the Colorado Avalanche, and while Andre Tourigny was there as an assistant coach. So they do have that video background, and they use it to the best of their abilities, and I think that's a big change from last year. They have more of a pre-scout for opposing teams. They still focus on themselves, obviously, but I think that's the biggest difference, is that the players are prepared for what they're going to be facing.
Now, looking at the roster now, and one guy I wanted to look back at the last NHL draft before looking at some of the guys that are popping up on the essential scouting ratings this past November. But a guy like Sasha Chmielewski, were you surprised by how far he dropped? And do you think San Jose got themselves a steal in the 6th round? I mean, you look at his buddy Ivan Ladnia getting taken in the 3rd round, and it was just a strange spot to see him drop that far.
Yeah, I think it's 2 very different questions there. I wasn't surprised to see him fall as far as he did, just based on the year that he had, the imbalance in his season. The highs were very high, the lows were very low. So when you are looking at a player like that, you have home run potential. So when you draft him late in the draft, I think it does have that big impact possibility. And I think that San Jose did get a steal taking him in the 6th round, but I'm not surprised that he went that late because of the inconsistencies in his year. And I'm a big Sasha Chmelevski fan heading into last year after his Ivan Holinka tournament where he led the tournament in scoring. I thought he was going to be pushing for a top 10 draft pick, to be honest with you. He has that type of game-breaking ability. He's now top 10 in goal scoring this season. He's got 14 goals on the season. He is really pushing the pace, and he's doing very well with his new line mates, Cody Clark and Travis Barron. They're meshing very well, and Andre Tourigny has stuck with them for a long period of time now, and they've been dynamite. And Sasha Chmelevski has that natural release that allows him to score from almost anywhere on the ice in the OHL. If he can continue to work on his skating and his compete level and willingness to get into the dirty areas, he's going to be an NHL player, and yes, San Jose will have had themselves a steal of a draft pick in the 6th round.
Kenny Wall's our guest here on Otters Hour, play-by-play voice of the Ottawa 67s, coming into Thursday's matchup at the Erie Insurance Arena. Tickets, of course, still available at the Erie Events website, erieevents.com, or at the Erie Insurance Arena box office. Looking at a couple guys now, Ottawa comes in, they lead, tied for the lead within the CHL with 5 guys on the November rankings from NHL Central Scouting Service, a couple of B ratings. What makes Cody Clark, Carter Robertson, Kevin Ball, what make these guys stand out for the 67s?
Well, for me, I'll start out with Cody Clark, son of Wendell. His skating ability is what stands out at you first, and then his improvement from year to year has been outstanding. When you look back to what would have been his major midget season, his 16-year-old season, he was playing at St. Andrews, a Canadian high school type of league, and he was okay there. He was good, and he was good enough to get on the 67's radar so that they would sign him. And last year, he didn't thrive in the system. He didn't have the confidence to go out there and improve his play. This year, he's been put on the top 6 forwards, and his play has elevated. He scored a overtime winner in 3 consecutive games, and from all the research that I've done, I don't think, man, I may be wrong on this, but for talking to some very smart hockey people, I don't think that's ever been done at any level that I can remember. So that's just an impressive feat. His confidence level is sky high. He's got a release. He's not afraid to get to the dirty areas. Kevin Ball, to me, at this exact same time, is a better version of Logan Stanley of the then Windsor Spitfires. I really like his movement for a guy who's 6'6" and 230 pounds. He's starting to get in better shape, and that's scary because when he was moving as well as he did, and he was a little bit out of shape, and he can get in shape and maintain his physical play, that's going to be scary for opponents, not only at this level, but at the next level, because his straight-ahead speed is good, his lateral mobility is excellent. From the front of the net to the corner, he's very quick, and he's got a great stick. The only question for me is what level of offense he can reach, and I think that may be capped at a certain point, both in the OHL and at the next level, but very solid pro career upcoming for Kevin Ball. And the last one, Carter Robertson, he missed the beginning of the year with a lower body injury, and I think that set him back, but he's come back, and he has been more physical, more confident than he was last year. He's a big kid, although lanky. He's 6'2", 180 pounds or so, and he's got a rocket of a shot, and for him missing the start of the season set him back slightly in that he's not getting power play time right now that I think he will get later on, and that he will impress scouts with from that point of view, because if he can quarterback a power play, that's just another dimension added to his game. And offensively, he's the most potent of the 67's defensemen, aside from maybe Noel Hoffenmeyer.
Kenny, I want to get your take on the Eastern Conference. I see a lot of the West. Yeah, I get to see the East from time to time, but it seems like it's wide open in anyways games. I think it's 67's a point behind for first in the conference. 6 points separate first and seventh, I believe. Is this wide open for anybody to go out and grasp?
It really is. I don't see anybody that's out of it. A team like Kingston has shocked me in the start that they've had, and Ottawa just played them on Sunday, a 4-2 win, but they were trailing 2-1 heading into the latter stages of the third period and were able to tie it up and then eventually win the game. But Kingston's a team that shocked me as to how far up they are. I didn't think that they would have the type of season that they are, and maybe they end up selling off Jeremy Halvig and they drop back down to earth. But there's nobody who's taken that separation. Mississauga getting McLeod and Tippett back, they'll be dangerous going forward. But a team like North Bay, they're a roller coaster of emotion. I can't imagine being a Battalion fan where you can go out one night, lose 7-1, and come back the next night and win 6-2. It is that's quite the team they have there in North Bay, just from a roller coaster point of view. But yes, you're right, it is wide open. I wouldn't say there's a favorite in the conference. I wouldn't say that there's a team that you can almost guarantee is going to finish last. There's a lot of parity in the East, and they're all good teams. I wouldn't say like in years past where the West is so much stronger than the East. There's some pretty good teams out East this year.
So does that set up Ottawa? Are they right there in a run? Do you think they'll be in the mix of things and maybe confident enough to maybe make a few deals and go for it this year?
I think so. They need goaltending. They need Olivier Tremblay, Olivier Lafreniere, or Cedric Andre to take the ball and run with it. And so far, while nobody's taken the ball, it looks like it is Olivier Tremblay's net going forward. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. But if they can add maybe one more forward, add some depth to the top 6 or top 9, they'll be in great shape. Their defense, while young, they have 2 18-year-olds, 4 17-year-olds, and a 16-year-old on the back end. I would put some money down that they are the most talented, naturally talented group. Just young, when they develop in a year or two, when they all reach a certain age, they're going to be very scary to deal with it. And if they can do that this year and mesh, they've got an opportunity to make some noise in the East. But I think another forward to just solidify the depth aspect, because right now they're going generally with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen, trying to dress the best 18 that they can. And I think if you add another forward up front, just add a little bit more depth, maybe somebody to play with Graham Clark, that would really help them out.
Kenny, last one for you. I know it's American Thanksgiving Thursday when you guys roll in. Got any requests for the media room? Anything I can set you guys up with to try to some hospitality for dinner?
You know what? I'm not overly picky about the media room, just so long as it's rink food. Yeah. I don't need a special turkey dinner or anything. Just a nice slice of pizza, maybe some wings, and some coffee. Coffee is always needed.
And
it's going to be nice spending another holiday in Erie. We go there once a year, and now 2 of the last 3 years we've been there for a holiday. New Year's a few years ago, and now we're coming in for Thanksgiving. So it's good timing by us.
I'll make sure there's some leftovers, at least something there for the group when they come in. But
fantastic.
Kenny, thanks for this. Kenny Wallace, play-by-play voice of the Auto 67. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you very much, Aaron. I appreciate it.
We got more coming up on Otters Hour. You're listening to the Erie Otters Radio Network on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260.
Looking for the best health plan through your employer? Well, let's look at the proof. With Highmark, you're covered wherever and whenever at 93% of doctors across the country and in 190 countries across the world. So whether you're going to Minneapolis or Milan, your coverage goes too. Choose the plan with Living Proof. Choose Highmark, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Visit ChooseLivingProof.com. Network coverage varies by plan. Check your member materials for details.
Interstate Mitsubishi is now selling the Outlander Sport for its lowest price ever, $15,988. That's almost $5,000 less than its original MSRP of $21,890. For just $15,988, you can own an Outlander Sport with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, 7 airbags, and 18-inch alloy wheels. This is the best deal on a brand new CUV you'll find anywhere, and it's only at Interstate Mitsubishi, 1/2 mile south of the Mill Creek Mall on Route 99.
An Erie Otters game is the best way to bring everyone together. Gather your family and friends or plan an office or work outing at the best entertainment value in Erie. Groups of 10 or more can enjoy discounted ticket prices with multiple seating options available. Ask one of our group sales associates today about a group outing and even upgrade into our meeting room suites for the most stylish experience at the Erie Insurance Arena. Otters sales associates are standing by to take your call and plan your night out during regular office hours at 814-455-7779.
An inside look at the OHL in Erie. You're listening to the Otters Hour on CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260.
Welcome back here inside the Erie Insurance Arena. They just wrapped up practice, which means, we're going to be wrapping up Otters Hour here pretty soon on our end. I want to thank my guests, especially Kenny Walls, for taking the time to join me for a little conversation, learn about the Ottawa 67s as they come in tomorrow to take on the Otters on Thanksgiving. Also, thanks to Chad Yetman and Emmett Sproul, a couple of Otters rookies, and that's some inside information on that's. I mean, it is a lot of time to pass when you switch to the OHL. You're away. It's a difficult transition, and those guys are living through it. So that's kind of the inside look of being a 16, 17-year-old kid and having to uproot your life and then go to the next level in the hockey world, it being junior hockey. But speaking of the game on Thursday, that's the annual Thanksgiving Day game. The Erie Otters have won 4 straight Thanksgiving Day games coming into Thursday, and they're taking on the Ottawa 67s. They defeated the Erie Otters way back in September, that opening road trip, 6-3 the final there. But the Otters, they bring it back here and play at the Erie Insurance Arena in front of their crowd. We'll see what we have. The Otters all-time on Thanksgiving, 10-8-0-1 with 2 ties. So the Otters, it's been a pretty good game for them, and as we said, they've won 4 straight here from the Erie Insurance Arena on Thanksgiving Day going into that. They no longer have their usual opponent, and if you remember back, it's been the Belleville Bulls for a long time as they have moved on, Belleville now has an AHL team, and the Belleville Senators and the Bulls now the Hamilton Bulldogs with that franchise moving. And also this week, coming up on Saturday here from the Erie Insurance Arena, Otters back at home once again, take on the number 1 team in the Canadian Hockey League. That's as of, we're waiting on the final. They should have some new rankings coming out very soon for the CHL Top 10. As of the last few weeks, it has been the Sarnia Sting leading the way as the number 1 team. Remember, they started out the season with a 14-game winning streak. They've kind of tailed off a little bit here, including the last 2 weeks, a loss to the Ottawa 67s during that little bit of skid that Sarnia is in. And I expect them, even though they sit number 1 right now, you may see some movement in the CHL Top 10, and I think the likes of the Sioux Greyhounds may be moving up some. They're in the same division of the Sarnia Sting, but have quietly put up pretty much similar numbers as the Sarnia Sting, riding an 8-game win streak themselves, and just 1 win shy, just right behind the Sarnia Sting. So if you didn't hear about Sarnia, Sault Ste. Marie is right behind them. They are gonna compete this season for an OHL championship. I know our next episode of Otters Hour will be in 2 weeks. You're looking at December the 6th as we move into another month on the calendar winding down, and we'll have World Junior Talk with that. Taylor Radish will be a part of that game, and also we'll see with Ivan Lodney. He was at an invite to the Team USA's World Junior Evaluation Camp. Who knows where I'll end up there. And speaking of Team USA, be sure to pick up tickets for the preliminary action for the World Junior Championship that'll be here at the Erie Insurance Arena on Friday, December 22nd, 7 o'clock. You're going to see Team USA take on Team Sweden, just $17. General admission throughout the entire arena here, $17 adult tickets. Children ages 5 to 12 are $12. You don't want to miss that. I know the Otters were Erie in the Erie Insurance Arena, part of the bid with the Pittsburgh Penguins to bring the World Junior Championship to Pittsburgh and Erie as the 2 host cities, but Buffalo ended up winning the bid with that outdoor game that'll be going on. But we're going to get some pretty high-quality hockey coming in, and one of the final evaluation games, pre-tournament games, this is the last one for Team USA before they make their final cuts. So this is going to be a pretty important game for a lot of this group, and Team USA and Team Sweden right before they go into the World Junior Championship that starts right after Christmas. So that's coming up as well. But for now, as always, you can get your tickets at the Erie Insurance Arena box office. ErieEvents.com is the place to be online when you're picking those up. But for us, we're going to say see you later. As we wrap things up here on Otters Hour, I want to thank Chuck Stevens back in studio, pushing the buttons for us, making sure that we are able to get on live here with you. And until next time, like I said, 2 weeks, next show, December 6th, we'll have the next edition of Otters Hour. I'm Aaron Cooney saying so long. We'll see you around the rink. You've been listening to the Erie
Otters Hour, an inside look at your Erie Otters and the Ontario Hockey League. This is WRIE Erie, CBS Sports Radio 96.3 and 1260.
CBS Sports Radio.
Sports Flash. Jay Berman, NFL getting set for a Thanksgiving triple header. Can't wait. It begins with the Vikings visiting the